Do you hear that? Something magical is about to happen. A tiny firefly, ... But not just any firefly. This little light knows 10 incredible secrets. 10 magical worlds. 10 amazing adventures. Tonight, if you're very quiet and very brave, the firefly will show you all of them. 10 stories of courage. 10 stories of friendship. 10 stories of magic you'll never forget. Are you ready? Then close your eyes, make a wish, and let the firefly guide you. Our first adventure begins. ... Now. Story 1. The Lost Key. Once upon a time, in a quiet village, there lived a little girl named Lily. Every night, Lily looked out her window at the stars and wondered, what secrets do they hold? One evening, while playing in her garden, something sparkled in the grass. A tiny golden key. Where did you come from? Lily whispered. Suddenly, a soft voice answered. I've been waiting for you. Lily looked around. There, glowing gently, was a firefly. Follow me, said the firefly. That key opened something very special. Through the garden they went, past the old oak tree, until they reached a door Lily had never seen before. It was covered in vines and moonlight. Use the key, whispered the firefly. Lily's hands trembled as she turned the key. Click! The door opened, and inside was a garden filled with 1,000 fireflies, all dancing like stars. Welcome to the Garden of Wishes, said her guide. Every firefly here carries a child's dream. Lily stepped inside, and the fireflies swirled around her, warm and bright. This is beautiful, she whispered. And now, said the firefly, you are a guardian too. Whenever you feel lost, remember, you hold the key to magic. Lily smiled and carefully closed the door. The key glowed once more, then gently faded into her heart. From that night on, Lily knew, magic is real, if you're brave enough to look for it. And that was just the beginning. Are you ready for story 2? Story 2. The Bridge of Brave Steps. The very next night, Lily lay in bed, hugging her pillow and listening to the soft whisper of the wind outside her window. She thought about the Garden of Wishes and all the tiny glowing dreams dancing in the dark. I wonder, ... she murmured, what other secrets the firefly knows? As if it had been hiding in her words, a warm, golden glow appeared by her window. It was the firefly. Good evening, guardian, it said gently. Ready for another adventure? Lily's heart skipped. I think so, she replied. Come, the firefly whispered. Tonight I'll show you something very important. How to be brave, even when you feel small. Lily slipped out of bed, her bare feet quiet on the floor. She followed the little light down the stairs, through the sleeping house, and out into the cool night. The moon hung low and round, lighting a narrow path through the trees. At the end of the path there was a river, silver and slow, whispering secrets to the stones. Across the water stood a wooden bridge, but it wasn't an ordinary bridge. Each plank shimmered with soft colors, like pieces of rainbow. What is this place? Lily asked. This, the firefly said, is the Bridge of Brave Steps. It only appears to children who feel a little afraid, but still choose to try. Lily looked at the water below. It wasn't deep, but it moved and murmured and seemed a little bit scary in the dark. Her toes curled. What if I fall? She whispered. The firefly hovered close to her cheek. Being brave doesn't mean you're never scared, it said. It means you keep going, even when you are. Lily took a slow breath. The first plank of the bridge glowed brighter, as if cheering her on. She lifted one foot and placed it on the shining wood. The bridge hummed softly. Step, another plank lit up. Step, another glow. With each step she took, the bridge grew brighter and warmer beneath her feet. Her fear didn't disappear, but something new grew inside her, tiny and steady, like a spark. Halfway across, the wind picked up, and the river splashed a little louder. Lily's heart pounded. "I want to go back," she called. The firefly floated in front of her. "Look at how far you've come," it said gently. "You're already braver than you were before. All you have to do is take the next small step." Lily looked behind her. The shore she came from seemed far away now. She looked ahead. The other side was closer than she thought. She swallowed, wiped her eyes, and nodded. "One more step," she whispered. "Step." The plank beneath her feet glowed like sunrise. "Another," she said, a little stronger. "Step." Soon, the sound of the river felt less like shouting and more like a song. Her breathing slowed, her shoulders relaxed. Step by step, she reached the other side. When her toes touched the grass, the entire bridge shimmered and lifted into the air like a ribbon of light before fading into the night sky. "You did it," the firefly said. "You were scared. And you still walked forward. That's real courage." Lily looked down at her hands. They still trembled a little, but now her heart felt bigger, steadier. "So, whenever I'm afraid," she asked, "I just have to take one small brave step." The firefly twirled in a tiny circle of gold. "Exactly, one step, then another. That's how bridges are crossed, worries are faced, and dreams are followed." As they walked back along the moonlit path, Lily felt different. The world was still big, and sometimes a little scary. But she knew now that there was a brave place inside her. And every time she listened to it, another invisible bridge would appear waiting for her next brave step. That night, as she curled back into bed, Lily smiled softly. "Thank you," she whispered to the darkness. "I think I'm a little braver now." The firefly hovered at her window, its glow gentle and calm. "Good night, brave guardian," it murmured. This was only the second secret. There are still so many more to see. And that was just the beginning. The firefly still has more secrets to share. Are you ready for Story 3? Story 3. The Jar of Little Thank Yous. The next evening, the sky was covered in soft grey clouds. No stars, no moon, just the gentle patter of rain on Lily's window. Lily sat on her bed with her chin in her hands. "There's nothing to do," she grumbled. "It's too wet outside. It's too dark. I wish the sky wasn't so boring." She sighed and flopped back onto her pillow. The room felt a little heavier, like the clouds outside had found a way in. Then tap, 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 a tiny glow tapped gently on her window pane. Lily sat up. "Firefly." The warm golden light slipped through the tiniest crack in the window and floated into the room like a friendly star. "Good evening, guardian," the firefly said. "You look a little stormy inside, just like the clouds out there." Lily folded her arms. "It's just one of those days," she muttered. "Nothing special, nothing magical. Just grey." The firefly hovered closer to her nose. "Would you like to see my third secret?" it asked softly. "It's 4 days that feel grey, and hearts that forget how bright they really are." Lily hesitated, then nodded. "Okay." In an instant, the room seemed to stretch. The walls faded into soft shadows, and Lily found herself standing in a long, cozy hallway that hadn't been there before. The air smelled like old books and warm cookies cooling on a tray. On both sides of the hallway were shelves and shelves of glass jars, big jars, tiny jars, tall thin jars, and round, chubby jars. Every single one of them glowed with little lights, flickering gently like captured sunshine. "Wow," Lily whispered. "What is this place?" "This," the firefly said, "is the Hall of Thank You Jars." They walked slowly past the shelves. Lily peered into one jar and saw tiny scenes fluttering inside, a child hugging their mother, a boy sharing his umbrella, A girl laughing with her grandfather over a silly joke. Every kind moment shone like a tiny light. In every jar, the firefly explained, live memories of gratitude. Every time a child notices something good and whispers thank you, even just in their heart, a light is born. Lily stared, wide-eyed. All of this, just from saying thank you. The firefly nodded. Thank you is another kind of magic key. It doesn't open doors. It opens hearts. They reached the very end of the hallway, where a single empty shelf waited. On it sat one simple, clear jar. It did not glow yet. Lily touched the cool glass. "Whose jar is this?" she asked. The firefly spun in a soft circle around it. "Yours, mine. It starts empty," the firefly said gently, "on the day a child begins to truly notice the gifts around them. Big ones and tiny ones." Lily frowned a little. "But I don't have any gifts today. It was just a boring, rainy day." "Are you sure?" the firefly asked. "Think again. Did anything kind happen? Did anything make you feel warm inside, even for a moment?" Lily hugged herself and thought. "Well," she began slowly, "this morning, Mum made my favorite hot chocolate, with extra marshmallows." As soon as she said it, a soft golden spark appeared in the air, like a tiny star. It drifted down into the jar and settled at the bottom, glowing brightly. Lily's eyes widened. "Did I do that?" The firefly nodded. "Try again." Dad read me a story before he went to work," Lily said. Even though he was in a hurry, another light bloomed in the air and floated into the jar, snuggling next to the first. The glass shimmered faintly. Lily's voice grew softer. "My neighbor shared her rainbow umbrella with me when we walked home from school in the rain." A third light spun joyfully before slipping into the jar. Lily felt something shift inside her chest, as if a small window had opened, and she smiled a little. "My blanket is really warm, and my bed is cozy, and I'm glad you came to visit." 4 more lights appeared, each one smaller but just as bright. Drifting into the jar like dandelion seeds made of sunshine, the jar was no longer empty. It glowed with a gentle, steady light, painting soft golden patterns on the walls around them. "I didn't know there was this much to be thankful for," Lily whispered. "I thought today was just grey." "That's the third secret," the firefly said. "There is almost always something kind, something gentle, something good. Even on grey days. Gratitude doesn't make the clouds disappear, but it lights a lantern inside you while you walk through the rain." Lily looked at her jar and felt her eyes sting, but not in a sad way. "So every time I say thank you," she asked, "a new light will appear?" "Every time you truly feel it," the firefly replied. "Thank you for a friend. Thank you for a hug. Thank you for warm socks, or a good book, or a silly song. The more you notice, the brighter your jar will shine." Gently, the firefly guided the jar into Lily's hands. It felt warm and safe, like holding a tiny piece of the sun. The hallway began to fade. The shelves, the other jars, the soft glow of it slowly melted back into her room. Lily found herself once more on her bed, the rain still tapping at the window. But now, on her bedside table, stood a small, clear jar. Inside it, 7 tiny lights twinkled softly, just like they had in the Hall of Thank You jars. Lily smiled. "Thank you for this, too," she whispered to the jar, and an 8th little light appeared, joining the others. The firefly hovered by her pillow. "Whenever you feel like the world is grey," it murmured, "look at your jar, and remember all the quiet reasons your heart is glowing. Gratitude turns ordinary moments into tiny miracles." Lily pulled her blanket up to her chin and watched the lights flicker sleepily. "Good night, little thank yous," she whispered. Her eyelids grew heavy. The room was no longer gloomy, was golden. As she drifted to sleep, the firefly kept watch by the jar, its own glow steady and kind. There would be more secrets, more nights, more magic. But for now, Lily's heart was full, and softly, beautifully thankful, and that was just the beginning. The firefly's secrets are glowing brighter and brighter. Are you ready for Story 4? Story 4. The Lantern of Listening. The next night, Lily sat on her bed, with her knees hugged to her chest. Her room was quiet, but her mind was noisy, full of thoughts, questions, and little worries that bounced around like rubber balls. She didn't even notice the soft glow at her window. "Good evening, guardian," the firefly said gently. Lily jumped a little. "Oh, firefly, I didn't hear you." "I know," the firefly replied. "Tonight your thoughts are very loud." Lily sighed. "I keep thinking about everything at once. What if I forget my homework? What if I say something silly tomorrow? What if I—" Her words tumbled over each other like marbles on the floor. The firefly hovered closer. "Would you like to see my fourth secret?" it asked. "It's about something very simple and very powerful." Lily nodded. The room softened, and the walls faded into a gentle dusk. Lily found herself standing in a small clearing surrounded by tall trees. The air was cool and still. In the center of the clearing hung a lantern from a wooden post. It wasn't lit, but its glass sides were carved with tiny shapes, ears, hearts, and little waves like sound. "What is this place?" Lily whispered. "This is the listening clearing," said the firefly. "And this is the Lantern of Listening." The firefly touched the lantern. At once, it flickered to life with a soft, pale glow. "Come stand here," the firefly said, guiding Lily to a smooth stone beneath the lantern. "And just listen." "To what?" Lily asked. "Everything," the firefly answered. "But start with just one thing at a time." Lily took a breath and closed her eyes. At first, she only heard the usual buzz of her own thoughts. But then, slowly, other sounds began to step forward. She heard the whisper of wind sliding through the leaves, a cricket singing a small, steady song, the soft creak of a tree branch swaying. As she listened, the lantern's glow grew warmer, brightening the clearing. "What do you notice?" the firefly asked quietly. "It's calmer than my thoughts," Lily said. "It's like the world is talking very softly, and I never heard it before." The firefly circled the lantern. "That's the secret," it said. "When you listen, really listen, the world feels less tangled, and not just to sounds, but to people, too." The clearing shimmered, and suddenly Lily wasn't alone. A little boy appeared at the edge of the trees, holding a broken toy. His lips moved, but his words were only a faint murmur. "Why is he so quiet?" Lily asked. "Because no one is listening yet," the firefly replied. "Try it. Imagine you're listening with your whole heart." Lily focused on the boy. She imagined her thoughts settling down, like snowflakes drifting to the ground. Slowly, the murmur sharpened into words. "I was excited and I broke it," the boy was saying. "Everyone told me I was careless. I just wanted someone to understand." Lily's chest ached a little. "He doesn't need advice," the firefly whispered. "He needs someone to hear how he feels." The lantern glowed brighter. Another figure appeared, a girl hugging her knees, blinking back tears. Again, her voice was only a soft buzz. "Listen," said the firefly. Lily tried again. She took a slow breath and imagined her mind opening like a quiet door. "I felt left out," the girl whispered. "They weren't mean. They just forgot to ask if I wanted to play. But it still hurt." Lily pressed a hand over her heart. "I didn't know listening could show you so much," she said. "It's like I can feel what they feel." "That is the fourth secret," the firefly replied. Listening is a kind of magic. It tells people, you matter. Your feelings are safe with me. The lantern shone brighter still, bathing the clearing in warm light. Lily thought of all the times she had answered too quickly, or talked over someone, or rushed to give an answer instead of just being there. What if I don't know what to say? She asked quietly. Sometimes, said the firefly, you don't need the perfect words. You only need a gentle face, a quiet mouth, and an open heart. You can say, I'm here. I hear you. And that is often enough. The boy and the girl faded into light, and the lantern's glow settled into a soft, steady shine. Lily stepped closer and touched the glass. So, when my friends talk, she said, I should put my thoughts on quiet and just listen. Not think about what I'll say next, not rush, just be there. The firefly's light twinkled. Yes, that is how you turn on the lantern of listening inside you. The clearing slowly melted away. The trees, the stone, the lantern, they all folded back into starlight. Lily blinked and found herself once again in her cozy bed. Her room was quiet, but now she could hear more than before. The soft hum of the house, the distant sound of a car, her own breath going in and out. Tomorrow, she decided, she would try something new. When her friend talked, she would look into their eyes. She would listen all the way to the end, like the lantern had taught her. And maybe, just maybe, her quiet listening would feel like a warm light to someone else. The firefly hovered by her pillow, its glow calm and steady. Good night, Lily, it whispered. The world is full of stories, waiting for ears that truly listen. Lily smiled, her mind softer now, her heart a little wider. She closed her eyes and let the gentle sounds of the night sing her to sleep. And that was just the beginning. Lily's heart is learning to listen like a warm, glowing lantern. Are you ready for Story 5? Story 5. The Mirror of True Self. The next night, Lily sat on her bedroom rug with a small box in her lap. Inside were little treasures she'd collected over the years. A smooth blue stone, a ribbon from a birthday present, a tiny bell that no longer rang. At the very bottom lay something new, a shiny hairpin with glittering stars. Her cousin had given it to her that afternoon and said, if you wear this, you'll look just like the other girls. Everyone will love it. But just like the other girls made Lily's heart feel small. She liked her messy ponytail. She liked her favorite frog shirt, even if it didn't match perfectly. She liked drawing dragons instead of flowers. Still, a little voice in her head whispered, if you were more like them, maybe they'd like you more. She held the starry hairpin up and stared at it, unsure. A soft, golden glow appeared on her windowsill. Good evening, Guardian, the firefly said quietly. Your hands are holding something shiny. But your heart looks a bit dim. Lily sighed. Everyone at school seems the same, she murmured. Same clothes, same hair, same jokes. Sometimes I feel wrong. Too different. She twisted the hairpin between her fingers. Maybe I should just try to be like them. The firefly drifted closer, its light gentle and kind. Would you like to see my fifth secret? It asked. It's about who you really are, and why that matters. Lily nodded. The room softened, the walls melting into a quiet silver mist. The floor became a path of smooth stones leading toward a tall archway. Inside the arch was darkness, like a doorway into night itself. Where are we? Lily whispered. This, the firefly replied, is the Hall of Quiet Mirrors. They stepped through the arch. Inside, rows of mirrors stretched along the walls, big ones, tiny ones, oval, square, some framed in gold, others in simple wood. Each mirror shimmered faintly, as if it were breathing. Lily walked to the nearest one. In it, she saw herself, but a little different. Her hair was perfectly smooth, her clothes neat and matching. She looked like some of the other girls at school. "See," Lily said softly. "If I were like this, maybe no one would think I'm weird." The firefly hovered at her shoulder. "Look closer," it whispered. Lily squinted. Her reflection's smile looked stiff, like it was afraid to move. Her eyes held a tiny, quiet sadness. "She looks tired," Lily said. "Trying to be someone else is heavy," the firefly answered. "Like wearing a mask all day." They walked to another mirror. This one showed Lily dressed like everyone in her class, laughing along with a joke she didn't really find funny. Her mouth was smiling, but her hand was curled into a small fist. "I don't like that," Lily admitted. "Would you like to see a different mirror?" the firefly asked. It led her to a mirror at the very end of the hall. This one was smaller, its frame simple and a little crooked, like it had been made by hand. "Go on," the firefly said. "Take a look." Lily stepped forward. In this mirror, she saw herself as she really was. Hair a bit tangled from the day, favorite frog shirt with a tiny stain of paint, ink smudge on her finger from drawing. But her eyes were bright, curious, alive. She was holding a notebook full of dragons and stars and funny, impossible creatures. She looked a little different. She also looked completely, wonderfully real. Lily's chest warmed. "I like her," she whispered. "That's you," the firefly said. "Not the copy. Not the pretend version. You." "But what if people don't like the real me?" Lily asked. The firefly circled the mirror, leaving a gentle golden trail. "Some might not understand all of you," it said, "and that can feel lonely. But the ones who are meant to stay the true friends will see your real colors and think, 'I'm glad you're exactly you.'" The mirror's surface rippled, showing tiny scenes. Lily telling a silly dragon story, and one friend laughing so hard they snorted. Lily sharing her weird but wonderful idea for a game, and another friend saying, "Let's try it." Lily sitting quietly, drawing, while a classmate watched and said, "That's really cool." They weren't everyone, but they were someone. "You don't need everyone to like you," the firefly murmured. "You just need a few people who like the real you." Lily looked at the starry hairpin in her hand. "Can I still wear this?" she asked. "I kind of like the stars. I just don't want to wear it because I am trying to be someone else." The firefly glowed warmer. "That's the fifth secret," it said. "You can enjoy new things, change your style, try different looks. As long as you choose them because they feel like you, not because you afraid you not enough." Lily smiled softly. "I want to wear it with my frog shirt," she decided, "because that would be very me." The hall of mirrors began to fade. The reflections, the frames, the quiet, shimmering light, all of it melted back into her cozy room. Lily sat once more on her rug, the little treasure box in her lap. She carefully slid the starry hairpin into her hair, then looked at herself in her own mirror. Messy ponytail, frog shirt, starry clip catching the light. Lily grinned. "It's a little weird," she said, "but it feels right." The firefly glowed by her shoulder. "Being yourself," it said, "is its own kind of magic. No one else in the world can do it for you." Lily stood up, a little taller inside. Tomorrow, she might still feel different. She might still feel unsure sometimes. But now, she knew, the truest, brightest kind of special comes from being exactly who she is. That night, as she snuggled into bed, she whispered, "Thank you for showing me me." The firefly kept watch from the windowsill, its light steady and proud. There were more secrets to discover, more nights to travel through, more pieces of Lily's heart to gently unfold. But for now, she drifted to sleep as her own, real self, not a copy, not a mask, just Lily. And that was just the beginning. Lily is learning to shine as her true self. Are you ready for Story 6? Story 6. The Little Boat of Big Feelings. The next night, Lily lay on her back, staring at the ceiling. Her room was quiet, but her heart felt crowded. She thought about school, about a game she'd lost, about a joke that made her laugh, about something her teacher said that made her nervous, sad, happy, worried, excited. All the feelings were mixed together, like crayons thrown into the same box. "I don't even know what I feel," she whispered. "It's all too much." A warm glow appeared by her bedside. "Good evening, Guardian," the firefly said softly. "Your heart sounds full tonight." Lily sighed. "I feel everything at once, and it makes me want to cry and yell and laugh and hide under my blanket." All at the same time, the firefly's light shimmered gently. "Would you like to see my sixth secret?" it asked. "It's about big feelings, and a very special little boat." Lily nodded. The room blurred and softened. Her bed felt like it was floating. When she sat up, she was no longer in her room at all. She was sitting on the sandy shore of a quiet, moonlit lake. The water was calm and dark, like a giant mirror holding the sky. Tiny fireflies glowed along the edges, like stars that had come down to rest. On the shore, tied to a short wooden post, was a small boat just big enough for Lily and the firefly. "Where are we?" Lily asked. "This," the firefly said, "is the Lake of Feelings. And this is your little boat." Lily stepped in and sat down. The boat rocked gently but safely. The firefly settled at the front like a tiny lantern, and together they drifted away from the shore. For a while, there was only the sound of water lapping softly against the sides of the boat. Then, out on the lake, Lily saw something glowing beneath the surface. "What's that?" she whispered. A small bubble rose up and popped beside the boat. As it burst, a feeling brushed across her chest: sadness, soft and cool. She suddenly remembered a toy she'd lost last year. "That's one of your feelings," the firefly explained. "They live here, even when you don't notice them." Another bubble rose. This one popped with a tiny fizz of warmth. Lily remembered winning a game at recess and how proud she'd felt. "That's happiness," said the firefly. Soon, more bubbles appeared. Big ones, tiny ones, some bright, some a little heavy. One popped, and she felt a tightness, like when she worried she'd said the wrong thing. Another popped, and she felt a spark of anger from when someone cut in line. Another burst with a fluttery excitement about an art project she couldn't wait to finish. "It's a lot," Lily said. "All of them popping at once." The firefly nodded. "Big feelings can be like waves," it said. "They can feel scary if you think they will pull you under. But look," the water rocked the boat gently, up and down, up and down. "The boat is you," the firefly continued. "Your feelings are the water. The lake can be stormy or calm, but you are still the boat. You don't disappear just because the waves are big." Lily looked down at her hands resting on her knees. "So what do I do when the waves feel too big?" she asked. "First," the firefly said, "you name them. Watch." It touched the edge of the boat. A small wave rose up and bumped against the side. "This one," it whispered, "is worry. Can you say it?" "Worry," Lily repeated. The wave slowly smoothed out, as if it had been heard. Another wave rolled by, warmer and heavier. "This one is anger." "Anger," Lily said, a little louder. The wave softened, spreading into smaller ripples. One more wave approached, gentle and bright. "This one is joy." "Joy," Lily said, and she felt a tiny smile appear on her face. "The sixth secret," the firefly said, "is that feelings are like waves on your lake. When you notice them and name them, they don't seem so giant anymore. They still roll by. But they don't have to knock you over. Lily looked around at the glowing, rippling water. So, it's okay to feel lots of things? She asked, even at the same time. It's more than okay, the firefly replied. It's human. You can be proud and nervous, happy and a little sad, brave and still a bit scared. The boat rocked again, but this time Lily didn't feel afraid. She placed her hand over her heart. When I feel a big wave, she said slowly, I can say, oh, this is sadness, or this is anger, instead of thinking something is wrong with me. Exactly, said the firefly. You are not your waves. You are the boat that carries them. And you always float. The lake began to glow, a little brighter, as if it was smiling too. Far in the distance, Lily saw the faint outline of the shore where she had started. The boat gently turned and began to drift back. As they neared the sand, the bubbles and waves grew softer and smaller, like they were tucking themselves in for the night. Lily stepped out of the boat, her feet touching her bedroom floor once more. The lake, the shore, the shining water all faded back into the shapes of her room. She climbed into bed and lay quietly, one hand resting on her chest. Inside, she could still feel many things at once. A bit of worry about tomorrow. A small ache from something that had hurt her feelings. A warm glow from the secrets she'd learned. And a soft, sleepy peace. Hello, feelings, she whispered. I see you. I know your names. You can come and go. But I'm still me. The firefly hovered at her window like a tiny moon. Good night, little boat, it murmured. No matter how big the waves, you are never lost. Lily's eyes grew heavy. The busy crowd inside her heart felt calmer now, like a lake in the quiet, early morning. She floated into sleep, gently rocking on her own steady self. And that was just the beginning. Lily is learning to sail through all her big feelings. Are you ready for Story 7? Story 7. The backpack of shared worries. The next night, Lily felt tired in a way that wasn't just sleepiness. Her body was on the bed, but her thoughts were somewhere else, remembering the test coming up. The friend she wasn't sure still liked her, the promise she'd made to help her mum tomorrow. Each thought felt heavy, like a stone. It's too much, she whispered into the dark. I have to be brave, and kind, and myself, and calm. All the time, I'm supposed to handle it. A warm glow appeared near her feet. Good evening, Guardian, the firefly said softly. Your shoulders look heavy tonight, even though you're lying down. Lily frowned. I don't understand. I'm not carrying anything. The firefly tilted its tiny head. Not that you can see, it murmured. Would you like to see my 7th secret? It's about something you're not meant to carry alone. Lily nodded slowly. The room faded, and she found herself standing in a quiet meadow under a soft purple sky. On her back was a backpack she hadn't noticed before. It looked ordinary blue, with a little star patch stitched on, but it felt very heavy. What is this? Lily asked, trying to lift the straps a little. This is your worry backpack, the firefly explained. Every time you think, I have to handle this by myself, another worry climbs inside. Lily reached back and unzipped it. Inside were small stones, each one glowing with words. What if I fail? What if they don't like me? I don't want to make anyone upset. I should be able to do it alone. Lily's chest tightened. They're mine, she whispered. Yes, said the firefly. But that doesn't mean you must carry them all by yourself. The meadow shimmered. Suddenly, she saw other children walking along a path that wound through the grass. Each child had a backpack. Some were light, bouncing as they walked. Some dragged on the ground, too heavy to lift. One boy stumbled and sat down, rubbing his tired shoulders. No one noticed. Lily watched, feeling a pull inside. I know that feeling, she said. Like you want to cry, but you don't want anyone to see. The firefly hovered in front of her face. The seventh secret, it said gently, is that asking for help is not weakness. It is sharing the weight so your heart can breathe. Lily looked at her own backpack again. But what if I bother people? She asked. What if they think I'm too much? Try, the firefly whispered. Just once. See what happens. The scene shimmered again. Now Lily saw herself at the kitchen table, head bent over homework. The numbers on the page looked like a tangled forest. Her stomach knotted. In the vision, her mum walked by, humming softly and drying a dish. Past Lily gripped her pencil tighter. I should know this, she thought. I shouldn't need help. In the meadow, present Lily winced. I remember that, she said. I wanted to cry. What if, the firefly said, you could replay that moment? The scene reset. Past Lily stared at the page. Her mum walked by again. Only this time, a small golden spark like courage flickered in Past Lily's chest. Mum, she heard herself say softly, this is really hard. Could you sit with me? Her mum put the dish down, pulled up a chair, and smiled. Of course, she said. We'll figure it out together. In the meadow, Lily felt her shoulders ease, as if the backpack had grown just a little lighter. See, the firefly murmured. The worries didn't disappear, but they became smaller when they were shared. The worry backpack on Lily's back wiggled. She took it off and set it on the grass. Can I share more? She asked. Yes, said the firefly. Say them out loud. Imagine you're telling someone you trust. Lily knelt beside the backpack. I'm scared about the test, she whispered. One glowing stone floated out and grew a little lighter. I'm worried my friend is mad at me, she added. Another stone rose. I feel like I need to be strong all the time. A third stone floated upward. In her mind, she pictured talking to her dad, her teacher, her best friend. She imagined saying, I'm having a hard day, instead of, I'm fine, when she wasn't. The stones drifted higher, then softened into little clouds of light. Some floated away. Some shrank and gently settled back in the backpack, now no heavier than a handful of pebbles. Not gone, but bearable. You don't have to tell everyone everything, the firefly said. Just a few safe people. People who care. When you let them see your worries, they can help you carry them. Lily slipped the backpack on again. This time, it felt almost normal. Not crushing, just there. I thought being strong meant doing everything alone, she said. The firefly's glow warmed. Being strong, it replied, often means saying, I need help. It means trusting hands to reach for you when the load feels too heavy. The meadow began to fade. The sky, the path, the other children all melted back into the soft shadows of Lily's room. She was in bed again, but now she could almost feel a gentle strap across her shoulders, reminding her of her invisible backpack. She placed a hand over her heart. Tomorrow, she whispered, I'll tell my teacher when I'm confused. I'll tell Mum when I'm worried. I'll tell my friend when my feelings are heavy. The room felt a little lighter, as if someone had opened a window inside her chest. At the window, the firefly watched with quiet pride. Good night, Lily, it murmured. You were never meant to carry everything alone. Her eyes drifted closed, knowing that her worries might still come. But now she had a way to share them, stone by stone, and that was just the beginning. Lily is learning that some weights feel lighter when they're shared. Are you ready for Story 8? Story 8, The Little Word No, the Next Night. Lily sat on her bed with 3 things in front of her: a puzzle she'd promised to finish with her neighbor, a book she wanted to read by herself, and a note from her teacher reminding her about a project. Her head felt like it was being pulled in 3 directions at once. Tomorrow, she whispered, Mia wants me to play at the park. My neighbor wants to finish the puzzle. Mum asked if I can watch my little cousin. And I still have my project. Her chest felt tight. If I say no, she thought, they'll be sad, or mad, or disappointed. I should say yes. I have to say yes. A soft, golden glow appeared near her pillow. Good evening, guardian, the firefly said gently. Your heart looks like it's standing in the middle of a busy road. Lily frowned. Everyone needs me, she murmured. I don't want to upset anyone. I want to be kind, so I keep saying yes. Even when I'm tired and full and just want to rest. The firefly tilted its head. Would you like to see my 8th secret? It asked. It's about a very small word, with very important magic. Lily nodded. The room softened and stretched. Suddenly, she was standing in front of a path that split into many little roads, like the branches of a tree. Each path had a sign. Play with a friend. Help with homework. Join a game. Listen to a story. Take a quiet moment. Tiny figures like friendly shadows stood on the paths, waving at Lily. Come with me, called one. Come with me, called another. Lily's feet felt frozen. I can't go everywhere, she said. But I feel like I should. This, the firefly explained, is the crossroads of choices. Every day you stand here many times. And this, it pointed to Lily's chest, is where your yes and no live. Lily looked down at her hands. But saying no feels mean, she said. Like I'm closing a door on someone. The firefly's glow brightened. Watch, it said. They walked down one path. A small version of Lily appeared beside a friend who was holding a ball. Will you play with me? The friend asked. Past Lily's heart felt tired, but she thought, if I say no, she'll be sad. Okay, Past Lily said, forcing a smile. As they played, the air around Past Lily grew heavy. She moved slower, her smile wobbling. Inside, she wished she could sit down and rest. She said, yes, Present Lily whispered, but she looks unhappy. That's a crowded yes, the firefly said. A yes that squishes your own needs into a tiny corner. The scene faded. They moved to another path. This time, Past Lily stood with her mum, who was folding laundry. Lily, her mum said kindly, I'm going to bake cookies, want to help. Past Lily thought about the long, busy day she'd had. Her feet were sore, her eyes were sleepy. She wanted to read quietly in her room. She took a breath. I really love baking with you, she said slowly. But I'm very tired. Could we bake another day? Tonight I need a little rest. Her voice was soft, not sharp, her eyes were honest. For a moment, her mum just looked at her. Then she smiled. Thank you for telling me, she said. Of course. Go rest, sweetheart. In the meadow, Present Lily's eyes widened. She didn't get mad, Lily said. The firefly twinkled. That was a gentle no, it explained. A no that makes space for your body and heart, while still being kind. The path around Past Lily glowed warmly. As she walked to her room with a book, her shoulders looked lighter, her smile real. But what if someone is disappointed? Lily asked quietly. What if they really, really wanted me to say yes? Sometimes they will be, the firefly said, and that's okay. Feelings can be a little sore at first. But when you say yes all the time, you disappear, and the people who truly care about you don't want you to disappear. They stepped back to the crossroads. Lily noticed something she hadn't seen before. A small sign near her feet that read, You are allowed to choose. Her chest loosened a little. So the 8th secret, she said slowly, is that no can be kind too. Exactly, the firefly replied. You can say, no, thank you. I'm tired. Not today. Maybe another time. I can't do all of that, but I can do this small part. Gentle nose, protect your energy so your yes can stay bright and real. Lily thought about tomorrow. She imagined telling her friend, I can play for a little while, but then I have to go work on my project. She imagined telling her neighbor, I can't do the puzzle today, but maybe this weekend. She imagined telling herself, you're allowed to rest. The crossroads began to fade. The many paths, the little signs, the friendly shadows all melted back into her cozy room. Lily sat on her bed again, looking at the puzzle, the book, and the teacher's note. She picked up the book and smiled. Tonight, she whispered, my yes is for resting and reading. Tomorrow, I'll share my other yeses more carefully. She imagined the tiny word no sitting in her pocket, not like a weapon, but like a small, gentle gate she could close when her garden needed quiet. The firefly hovered by her pillow. Remember, it said, your kindness counts too. Saying no sometimes helps your heart stay kind for a long, long time. Lily lay down and pulled up her blanket. Her world still had many paths, many invitations, many choices. But now she knew she didn't have to walk all of them at once. She could choose, she could rest, and that was its own kind of magic, and that was just the beginning. Lily is learning that gentle no's protect her brightest yeses. Are you ready for Story 9? Story 9, The Invisible Threads of Kindness. The next night, Lily sat by her window, chin on her knees, watching people walk past her house. A woman carrying groceries, a boy riding his bike, a dog tugging on its leash. Everyone seemed to be going somewhere, busy with their own little worlds. Sometimes, Lily whispered, it feels like we're all just separate, like tiny dots on a big page, not really connected. She thought about the times she'd held the door for someone, or shared her snack, or smiled at a kid who looked lonely. Do those tiny things even matter? She wondered, they're so small. Maybe they just disappear. A warm golden glow appeared on the windowsill. Good evening, Guardian, the firefly said gently. Your eyes are looking outside, but your questions are coming from deep inside. Lily hugged her knees. I try to be kind, she murmured, but I don't know if it really changes anything. The firefly's light brightened. Would you like to see my 9th secret? It asked. It's about something you can't see, but it's there, every time you do something kind. Lily nodded. The room softened and stretched. The window grew wide and tall until Lily was stepping through it, out into a night that felt bigger and softer than usual. They hovered above her street, not too high, just enough to see the houses and trees and sidewalks all at once. Everything looked the same. Almost. Watch closely, the firefly whispered. It touched Lily's shoulder. Suddenly, she could see thin, glowing lines stretching between people. One line from a girl to her little brother as she tied his shoe. Another from a boy to his grandmother as he carried her bag. A soft line from a neighbor who watered someone else's flowers while they were away. The lines were different colors, gold, soft pink, gentle blue, and they pulsed with warmth, like tiny heartbeats. What are those? Lily breathed. Kindness threads, the firefly replied. Every time someone does something kind, a thread appears between their hearts. Lily watched as a woman held the elevator door for a stranger. A thin golden line flickered into existence between them. The stranger smiled and later picked up a toy. Another child dropped another thread. Then that child went home and shared their favorite sticker with a friend who was sad. Another thread. It was like watching a web of light slowly grow across the town. It keeps going. Lily whispered. Kindness almost always travels farther than you can see, the firefly said. A smile, a gentle word, a small help. They don't stop at the person in front of you. They keep moving, heart to heart. The firefly pointed toward the school. The building shimmered, and Lily could see earlier that day. She saw herself walking into class and noticing a quiet kid sitting alone. In the memory, she hesitated, then went over and said, "I like your drawing." A small golden thread appeared between them. After that, the firefly said, he felt a little braver. Lily watched the scene continue. The boy, feeling lighter, later held the door for someone. A thread, that someone went home and, in a slightly better mood, listened more patiently to their little sister. Another thread, the sister, feeling heard, went to school the next day and invited a new student to play. Another thread, Lily's eyes stung. All of that, from one little compliment, from one tiny light you shared, the firefly corrected gently. You didn't see the whole path it walked along, but it was there. They drifted toward a park. Lily saw another memory. She had once shared her crayons with a classmate who didn't have any. A thin line appeared between them. She went home feeling less invisible. The firefly said, that night, she hugged her mum extra tight and told her she loved her. The thread grew. The park shimmered with crisscrossing lines, like a gentle spiderweb made of light. The ninth secret, the firefly murmured, is that no kindness is ever truly small. You only see the first step. But the kindness keeps walking, even when you're not looking. Lily pressed a hand over her heart. What about when I feel invisible? She asked quietly. When I feel like no one sees me. The firefly floated in front of her face. Look, it whispered. She saw her parents tucking her in, her teacher checking in with her after class, her friend saving a seat for her at lunch. Threads, soft and glowing, ran from them to her. You are already covered in kindness threads, the firefly said. Some are old, some are new. You don't always notice them, but they are there, holding you in a quiet net of care. Lily looked down and gasped. Threads were wrapped gently around her chest, her shoulders, her hands connecting her to people she loved. People who had helped her, even people she had only met once, but who had smiled at her on a hard day. I'm not just a dot on a page, she whispered. I'm part of the picture. Exactly, the firefly said. Every act of kindness is a line that says, we belong to each other, a little bit. The night slowly folded back around them. The glowing web of threads dimmed, though Lily could still feel its warmth. They stepped through the tall window again, back into her cozy room. Lily sat on her bed and looked at her hands. Even if no one claps, she said thoughtfully, even if no one says thank you, kindness still matters. It still goes somewhere. It still connects. The firefly's light twinkled proudly. Yes, it said. Kindness is never wasted, not ever. Lily lay down and pulled up her blanket. Tomorrow, she decided, she would look for one small chance to be kind, a smile, a shared pencil, a gentle word. Not because she had to, but because she now knew every tiny light she sent out into the world would help weave another shining thread. As her eyes grew heavy, she felt less alone than before. Somewhere, all around her, invisible threads of kindness were quietly holding the world together. And that was just the beginning. Lily is discovering the invisible threads that kindness weaves. Are you ready for Story 10? Story 10. The Firefly's Final Secret. On the 10th night, the sky above Lily's house felt extra still, like it was waiting. Her thank you jar glowed on the shelf. Her clock ticked softly. Her backpack rested by the door. Lily lay on her bed, hands on her chest. 9 secrets, she whispered. Bravery, gratitude, patience, gentle words, listening, second chances, big feelings, asking for help, saying no, kindness. What else could there be? A bright golden glow appeared at the window. "Good evening, guardian," the firefly said. Its voice sounded warm and proud. Lily sat up. "Is this the last secret?" "For now," the firefly replied. "Tonight, I show you where all the others went." The room shimmered. No forest, no tower, no lake appeared. Instead, tiny pictures made of light popped into the air around her. Lily saw a glowing bridge, a hall of jars, a slow, kind clock, a silver tree, a little boat, a garden path, a backpack in the grass, a crossroads of signs, a web of light between people. All the places they'd visited floated around her like gentle stars. "I remember," Lily breathed. "I know," the firefly said. "You walked through each one. But why are they here again?" she asked. The firefly drifted close until it hovered just above her heart. "Because the last secret," it whispered, "is that none of them stayed out there. They moved in here, in my heart." Lily asked. "Close your eyes," the firefly said. "Listen." Lily closed her eyes and felt her heart beat. Thump, thump. With each beat, a quiet thought rose up. Like a small voice, "I can be brave. I can be thankful. I can slow down. My words can be soft. I can really listen. I can try. Again, I can name my feelings. I can ask for help. I can say a gentle no. My kindness matters." Her chest warmed under her hand. It felt like a tiny lamp had turned on inside. "The 10th secret," the firefly said softly, "is that the magic was never really in bridges, clocks, or jars. It was always in you. I just helped you see it." Lily saw quick flashes in her mind saying, "Sorry." Sharing, resting when she was tired, listening to a friend, fixing a mistake, naming her worries instead of hiding them. "I thought you were the one with all the magic," she whispered. The firefly twinkled. "I am only a little light. You are the one who chose courage, honesty, and kindness. My glow showed the way. Your heart took the steps." Lily opened her eyes. "So what happens now?" "Now," the firefly said, "you keep living. And when life feels hard, you remember what you already know. When you feel scared, remember the bridge. When a day feels gray, remember your thank you jar. When you rush, remember the gentle clock. When anger rises, remember the feather-soft words. When you feel different, remember your real self is enough. When feelings are huge, remember your boat still floats. When worries are heavy, open your backpack and share. When you're tired, let no guard your yes. When you doubt your kindness, remember the invisible threads." Lily pressed her hand more firmly over her heart. "And this warm feeling right here, that," the firefly said, "is your own light. The 10th secret is simple. You carry the magic now, wherever you go." Lily's voice turned very small. "Will you still visit?" The firefly floated right in front of her nose. "Whenever you remember what we learned," it said, "I am with you. Maybe not at your window, but in your choices, your listening, your gentle yes and no." It flew toward the window, then stopped once more. "There is one more part," it added. "You are not the only one who feels small or lost. One day, you'll see someone who needs a tiny light. When you share your courage, your kindness, your listening, you will be there, firefly." "Me," Lily breathed. "You," the firefly answered. "You've already started." A steady feeling settled in her chest. "I can try," she said. "I can be a little light." Outside, the stars seemed to lean closer to the glass. "Remember, Lily," the firefly called softly, "whenever you feel lost, look for one small, good thing you can do. That is how you find your way back to the light." "Thank you," Lily whispered. For all 10, the firefly brightened like a tiny sunrise. Then its glow stretched, softened, and faded into the wide, starry sky. Lily lay back on her bed, hand resting over her heart. Inside her, 10 small lights glowed, 10 secrets she could carry into every tomorrow. She closed her eyes, knowing that even on the hardest days, the magic was not gone. It was waiting in her next kind choice, her next brave step, her next gentle word. The end.